Problem says, assuming that the cost of electricity remains constant and the farmers start using the manure for cows in a digester to produce some electricity for the farm, we've got to calculate the number of kilowatt hours of electricity that they can produce in 1 year. So basically what you have to do is that you're reading through the problem and it tells you that 500 cows, so the farmer has 500 cows, and you want to figure out that how much electricity that he can get from each cow. And in the problem it says, towards the bottom it says the waste from a single cow can produce 3.0 kilowatt hours of electricity each day. So that means you're basically timesing by 3, but it's 3.0 kilowatt hours per cow day. And you need to have this in there because what they're really looking for is you canceling units. When you cancel a unit, it needs to be a denominator with a numerator, so these can cancel off. Because your goal, back on the question, says the number of kilowatt hours of electricity that can be produced in 1 year. Right now, this is going to multiply out, and of course you're going to get per day. The question says per year. So again, we need to do one more multiplication. We want the days to cancel out, so the day has to go here. What do we want left behind? We want year. And of course, we should know that there are 365 days in a year. So basically, all you're going to do is multiply 500 times 3 times 365. And again, you're not going to have your calculator, but you can multiply that out, and it's going to be 547,500. But again, what's more important now is the unit. Kilowatt hours per year. So that's part I. And again, if you need to see the math, you should know how to take 500 times 3, so that's 1,500, and then you're taking 1,500 and you're timesing it by 365. Now the math that you're doing, what you're showing, they're not going to stress too much over simple calculation error. What's more important is making sure that you have this properly. Okay? Alright, so that's step 1. Now step 2, part 2 of the problem, says the amount of money the farmer can save in 1 year. That's not counting the installation cost, of course. Alright, and we can round. But so each of his 500 cows can give us this many kilowatts per hour. So in part 2, we know that it's going to be 5,407,500 kilowatts per hour per year. It says in the problem that it says assume that the farmer can uses 800,000 kilowatt hours, but it's saying for each year at a cost of 10 cents per kilowatt hour. So basically, the cows are making this. Okay? So if the cows are making that, it's saving us 10 cents. Whoops, 0.1. Okay? So if we just multiply by 10, 0.10 cents, so of course 10 is moving the decimal just once, so it's going to save $54,750, which then can round to about $55,000 because they said round to the thousands. Okay, so basically what that means is you've just saved $55,000 because that's the amount of kilowatt hours your cows are going to produce for you. So that's one option. Okay. There are a couple of other options, so if you see it a little differently, as long as you get 55,000, doesn't matter. All right, the third part of this problem, it says the amount of time in years that it's going to take for you to recover the cost of the installation. So now, the first problem said we're going to ignore the cost, but for right now we're going to bring it back. So it costs them, where does it say? It said that it cost the farmer $400,000 to make this machine. That's part 3. So it cost the farmer $400,000, but you're saving $55, so that's dividing by $55,000. And of course, this is $55,000 per year. So the farmer is saving $55,000 per year. So all we have to really do is divide. Now again, if you want to line them up, just so you don't make a mistake on your division, you can cancel out 3 zeros. So now all you're doing is taking 55, dividing it into 400, okay? And then just do your long division, and it's going to come out to be approximately, it's going to come out to be about 7.2 years. So again, if you need to check your math, do 7. 7 times 5 is 35. 35 plus 3, 38. Subtract. So of course that's 3, that's 9, so that's 5. So 15. So that's 2. 10. So 5 times 2 is 10. 10, that's 11. So that's 40. And that's good enough, because we know that this is going to be for years anyway, because it says that you can round your answer to the nearest whole number of years. So that 2 tells me that that's going to round to just to about 7 years. So this means it's going to take the farmer 7 years to recoup the cost. Okay? So that was part 3 of part C. Now part D says to calculate the minimum number of cows that you're going to need. Now they said that the farmer needs 800 kilowatt hours of electricity per year. Alright, so if we need 800,000 kilowatts per year, but each cow, remember, each cow only gives you 3 kilowatt hours per 1 year, or excuse me, per day. That doesn't make any sense. So that's a cow per day. We know there's 365 days per year, so the days cancel again. And if we just do some quick math, 3 times 365 is 1,095. So that's kilowatt hours per cow year. So each cow gives you 3 per day times by 365. So one cow can give us 1,900 kilowatt hours per year. Okay? So that's one cow. But that one cow, we want to figure out, we want 800,000 kilowatt hours. One cow can give us 10,000 or 1,095 kilowatt hours. Okay? But this is again per year, and this is again per cow year. All right? Now to get our units to cancel correctly, I'm going to rewrite it like a regular division problem. Per year, dividing by 1,095 kilowatt hours per cow year. And just like division with fractions, we always flip and multiply. So we're going to do 800,000 kilowatt hours per year times, because flip and multiply. So the cow comes up here, cow year, which is a good thing, so we can cancel out that. What goes down at the bottom is the 1,095 kilowatt hours. Cross out, which is a good thing, because we're trying to figure out how many cows is it going to take for this farmer to create their 800,000 kilowatt hours. So if we just do some basic division, 800,000 divided by your 1095, and it's going to come out to be 730.5. But again, these are cows, So we're going to round to 731 cows. All right, so again, what you need to focus more on is your math. If you make a simple calculation error, keep going. As long as you show your units and your conversion and what you're doing, you're going to get your points.